Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second part of this build. Yes, we did some things in the meanwhile. We did this. I put another servo on there. I'm gonna put a link in the description, of course. What we're going to do next, yes, we're going to fit this. Oop, you're gonna see in a while. And I'm going to explain you what I did with this. Always the pins fall out. You can put this one in there. That's a Traxxas part. It's very hard, so you have to put a grinder on there. You're not going to cut it with a saw or something like that, so it's hardened steel. So you can put these in there and you don't lose them anymore. You can also use the grub screw. That's no problem. One side gets in there and then the other one gets in there too. It came out like that, so it has to go back in there. Voila! You see, but these things, it's a 2.5, I think. Yes, you put them in there. See, they thread real good into this housing. Don't make them too tight. Otherwise your steering will be very hard, so you have to figure it out by yourself. So we're going to do them all fours, put this grub screw a little tighter so it doesn't back out, and then we're going to do the next mod. So with the axle and everything on there, and the steering and everything, and the nice mod over here from Traxxas. Thank you, Traxxas. And now we're going to put a GPM servo saver on there. They're also Trill and Vidavon and everything has the same servo saver. I think this is a good one, so we're gonna put it on there. That's not such a biggie. Everybody can do that. Put the radio on. See that it's centered. Put your sub trim on 0. Very important. Then line it up and then mount it. That's it. The only difference that I noticed also is this spring is thicker than that spring, so I'm gonna keep it and not throw it away yet, because maybe I'm going to put this spring on this one. I don't know yet, but first we're going to try it like this. When it holds up, it's good. When it doesn't, we're going to make this spring fit in there. I'm going to put a little drop of Loctite on there so it doesn't come loose. So as you can see, everything's mounted, Loctited, and I put it in the upper hole because I need the torque. So I think this servo is going to work just fine. So for the next mod, we're going to use these Traxxas part, of course. I found them. It's from the UDR. Normally, you in America guys, you also use the hot racing parts. I searched for them online everywhere. I couldn't find them. I contacted Hot Racing in America, and they didn't find a dealer here. So I wanted the limit straps on there, but these are a little more, you see, a little more rigid. But we're going to mount them anyway. Going to try it. If I find the other one, the Hot Racing ones, maybe I'm going to replace them afterwards. So we're going to mount them over here like that, and one over here, one on the bottom hole, and over there. I'm going to explain you how I did it, why I did it, and what you can use for it. I used the limit strap. I used this setup like this and a setup like this here underneath. What did I use for the bolt over here? 30 millimeters. It's an M5. I used the bolt, then I used the limit strap over here. I put the washer on there. Then I used the lock nut so it doesn't turn when driving and stuff. And then also a lock nut from behind, so it's really stuck in there. On the bottom I used this setup on the front, then some fuel line tubing from a nitro car, 8 millimeters long. Why? Because in between there is 8 millimeters, and when you put it in there, it's very hard to get in there. It's not so easy because it's a little thicker. You can see now it stays on its place, and it protects rubbing the thread from the bolt. The bolt is M3 23 millimeters. It's just as long as the shock ones, the bottom ones, and then an M3 lock nut on the rear side. You can see it over here, lock nut, washer. Then this comes freely. Then this can move freely because this is also essential. Then we go down. We have the bolt with a washer on there. And then you can see, maybe you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. There it is, the fuel line tubing inside, and then of course on the rear the lock nut. The easiest way to mount it is first this and then the shock tower. So we're going to do that on all fours, and then we're coming back to you. I was looking at the car and I noticed that my shocks were still hanging loose. Not loose, but my weight was still hanging on the shocks. So I put this 1 millimeter one hole up. So now it's more hanging on the limit straps. If you do this with the straps and you put it a hole higher, you have to adjust your sway bars a bit. You have to put it a little bit out of there to the back, because otherwise your sway bars, I don't know if you can see it right here, are going to touch the limit straps, and that's not such a good idea. I designed and printed this battery tray because I have long batteries like this one, and this one fits in there, and it doesn't fit in the original one. So this was a tryout. It worked well, but it was a little bit flimsy. So I printed another one, another brace, much stronger, and a new battery tray. So if you can see that, it can go in here. It fits in the stock position with the battery, with a brace that goes in here on the back, and it fits perfectly. So your battery, if you have longer batteries, you can try and get it in there so it fits nice, and then you put this under there like that. Yeah, I got another extension cord, and that's simple for the lights, because otherwise here is the plug. You always have to fiddle around and everything to get the lights on, but now it's done. We're going to put it on there and then weave it in the cage, and then it's continue in there. So as you can see, the truck is back together. I put the the cord over here like that, and I tucked it away over here a little bit. This is the battery tray I designed and 3D printed. It fits in the original 2 screws over here. Then there's a brace that you have to print, of course, and then there's the tray. So you put a strap around it, so you can put this one nice and clean in there. So that's that. So it's on now, so you can see how the servo performs, and I think it's more than adequate. So this one's ready, and it's ready to rumble again. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, do everything you have to do, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.